children have such beautiful faith and such beautiful hope. Let them storytell and think and dream and feel. I really felt this assurance from God saying, you are going to be a foster mom, and it's going to be so much sooner than you feel comfortable with. And I was like, what? So I've been working for Austin Angels since November of 2015, and at first when I got hired as an intern, I really was passionate about Susan, the founder and CEO of the nonprofit. Susan Ramirez had walked away from a career in the corporate sector of selling homes. She was making like over 6 figures, extremely successful, and she walked away to start a nonprofit and wasn't taking a paycheck, like quit her job, wasn't getting paid, and was just about the work, and was extremely passionate. And Susan's the type of person that's like, if she's going, you want to follow.
So I started Austin Angels in 2010, not with the intention that it would be a nonprofit, but just that it would be a place where people could come and volunteer. And so I never really even thought that I could dream as big as what it is today. Our mission is to create community around foster children so that they grow up to be who God had always intended them to be. Not everybody is called to foster, and not everybody's called to adopt, but everybody can play a role and make a difference in a child's life. That we have the ability to change their lives. So if we're waiting for the government to do it, then it's never going to happen, because the government cannot mandate love, but we can. And we do, and that's why children are rising to their fullest potential.
At work, I'd had some pretty difficult cases of just hearing just some pretty horrific things of why kids had been removed that week, and it was just like, how is this evil in the world just being amongst those people in the middle of tragedy, that I really believe God opened my eyes to fostering.
When she came to me and said she wanted to be a foster mom, I was obviously emotional about that, because I feel like this is what God has put me on this earth to do, was to do exactly what I'm doing. So to have somebody like Kathleen shoulder the weight and the responsibility feels exciting, it feels humbling. Kathleen was our very first intern that we ever had at Austin Angels, and she set the bar so high. So she is just the most unique young adult I think I've ever met. You know, I'm honored to be in her life. I'm honored to be her boss. I'm honored to be a mentor to her. I see such potential in her, and I know that she's going to make an amazing mom.
So I set my mom down, and we're just kind of talking, and I'm like, so Mom, and I'm gonna be a foster mom pretty soon. And I didn't know the timeline at the time, but it was like within the next 2-ish years. And I kind of just told her, you know, God is asking me to do this. And she turns to me and she goes, well, what's my grandma name gonna be? And like that response of like that immediate assurance to me meant the world. And she's been extremely encouraging the entire step of the way. My father, he laughed, and I think, you know, for dads especially, I'm the baby of the family, and so for him to think like, well, you know, my baby is trying to have babies and like completely not the way society tells you to do it, like that's insane. He was a tough one, but he came around. I think the thing that he has taught me the most is one of the most important things about motherhood is doing it in the right time. I think one of my biggest fears is there not being a father figure. I think right now in society, one of our biggest issues is fatherlessness. I have an amazing father, and he's gonna be an amazing grandfather. To me, I think a loving home is a home that is full of life, a home that is an open door. I want them to see that more than just your foster mom cares for you, but her tribe cares for you. I think it's diversity. I think it's loud music. I think it's singing karaoke in the kitchen while I'm teaching them how to cook. I think it's being aware of where they come from, being sensitive to the foods that they like. I think it's being willing to be uncomfortable for their sake. I think it's hard conversations. Most likely they're going to be of different skin color. Most likely they're going to come from different cultural backgrounds. So am I being safe? Am I being open? I think it's communicating to them, no matter what, I love you. Nothing you could say or do could change that. I think it's when they run down the street because they were triggered, I run after them and don't stop. And I know this to be true. Like, my story will inspire others to foster and to adopt. When you say yes and when you're obedient to what the Lord has called you to, He begins to move in your life in like really crazy ways.